Hello everyone, this is the Clever Fool here, bringing to you another entry in our campaign series for the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition Hard Mode campaign run-through. Today we'll be doing Sun Tzu's Art of War, Defending Against a Rush. It's the final campaign here, and we'll be ready to start tackling real campaigns as soon as we get a gold medal on this one. So hopefully it's not too difficult. Rushing the enemy was pretty simple, so hopefully this one will also be fairly easy to do as well. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
You are not the only one who will be raiding. Your opponent will not hesitate to attack you when and where you are weakest. Therefore, you must use your skills to defend your people and train your peasants to defend themselves. Hence, that general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. Sun Tzu wrote, "Show strength where you are weak. Wherever the enemy attacks, show him that you are ready to repel his soldiers. Be ready and prepared, Commander, because now it is up to you."
Alright, this is attempt number 1. It looks like we have 8 minutes to do this. The main objective is simply to advance the castle age, but beware of enemy attacks. So it basically seems like we need to advance the castle age while we're a little bit under pressure here. Now, we do have 8 minutes, and we're starting in the feudal age, so that does give us somewhat of an advantage. And I do believe that when they say advance the castle age, we're only going to need to click up like we have for all the previous ones. So 8 minutes is actually quite a lot of time. Now, what this suggests to me is that there will be enemies coming in to disrupt our plans, so we'll have some idle time with our villagers. So we just gotta be careful of that. The hints say to keep training new villagers. Yes, Booming taught me that. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, as I banged my head against the wall for a long time trying to get that gold medal done. For number 2, it says it is possible to fight back with villagers if your enemy's units are weak, but try to avoid engagements where I am outmatched. Otherwise, I'm going to lose a ton of villagers, which is going to be really bad. Number 3 says, watchtowers are a great way to defend my economy, but they're also a big investment. Always make sure that melee units cannot approach them either. Until you research murder holes, your towers cannot fire at adjacent enemy units. Yep. Building towers in feudal basically locks you out of doing the 3TC boom in castle. So it basically locks you out of fast castle. Now, fast castle isn't really a viable strategy in 1v1, unless the enemy is bad. But you know, it's always good to keep that in mind in case you're trying to do a fast castle. As for the scouts, my scouts report that we are facing one enemy player in red. We do not know much about him, but we can expect him to attack our base at any moment. Many of our mines are located to the south that are exposed to the enemy, and the gaps to the south of our base can easily be closed off with buildings or walls. Okay.
Advancing to the next stage quickly can be important, but your opponents will try to prevent you from gaining this advantage. In this mission, we will try to advance to the next stage while under pressure from attacking enemies. Use your scout to look for enemy buildings. You can anticipate an attack if you know what the enemy is training. Do not forget to wall off any weak spots and build watchtowers where needed. The enemy will arrive at any moment.
나무꾼. 네. 목수. 대기. 준비. 그러죠. 광부.
Focus on protecting your villagers, but do not keep them idle for too long. The enemy is attacking your base.
대기. 저요? 이동. 목수.
If you build palisade walls around your watchtowers, enemy melee units cannot reach them.
준비. 왕부. 목수. 대기. 목수. 저요? 이동. 광부. 예, 실시. 그러죠. 나무꾼.
All right. So we have a market available
그러죠.
already. So we actually don't need to do very much more here. Having them go after these guys is fine. We really need more food.
저요? 예. 목수.
준비. 이동. 네. 출동. 육수.
대기. 실시. 목수.
대기. 나무꾼. 목수. 예? 그러죠. 목수.
준비. 나무꾼. 목수. 목수. 목수.
I think we should be more or less good though. Our main issue now is just we need to gather food, really.
저요? 이동. 예? 출동. 네. 나무꾼.
Like, if we just sell off... If we sell off some of our... No, we just buy food. We should be good, right?
대기. 광부.
You can advance to the castle age. Click the button.
Alright,
You're
alright.
Advancing to
Jeez.
the next age. Congratulations. You made
Alright.
it.
Okay, this one was a bit anticlimactic. Is that really gold medal worthy? Is that really all they were gonna have to send at me? I mean, these guys are like in the castle age already, right? These are castle age buildings? No, these are field age buildings too. Look at their base. Wow, their base looks nice. Didn't even scout it whatsoever. They didn't have any archers. Yeah, it seemed to me that they were just producing scouts and men-at-arms. And I had plenty of time. Didn't even need to start mining stone. Just palisading up here and like turtling up was more than enough. The key was to make sure that you walled up early. Getting your walls up early like this will buy you a lot more time. Like, this is super comfortable. I thought maybe there were going to be enemies flanking us from behind because I didn't understand the map layout here. But yeah, these two are really the only two exposed areas, and you have enough stone to wall off this side. So you really just need to palisade off this side and then palisade off this side. Once you palisade this side, that tower that you start with will start killing these guys anyway. So really, once you stonewall this and you palisade this, this is really the only exposed area. But I didn't even go after it. So I don't know. I guess this is a gold medal match, gold medal game. There it is. Perfect. Nice. So with that, we are actually complete with all the Art of War, all the Art of War challenges with gold medals. Some comments: the early economy one and the booming one were actually the most difficult. But in my opinion, they were probably the hardest to cheese because the challenges required very, very active town centers. So if anything, they just taught me to always be keeping my town center as active as possible when I can. And I think that's a really good principle to be teaching newer players in Age of Empires 2, especially me, who's played the game a lot and even still has very poor discipline with creating villagers. I do feel like I'll be a lot better now at creating villagers in future games, which is pretty nice. Fast Castle Age is pretty reasonable to do. You can basically disregard how good your Castle Age situation will be for the sake of clicking that button as fast as possible. The main thing there is just making sure that you don't click Loom, but other than that, you can essentially do that in like 1 or 2 tries. Rushing the enemy is very easy to do with just scouts. I didn't try it using men-at-arms or archers, but scouts are fast, and they didn't really have any enemy spearmen to speak of. If I wanted to simulate like a true rush, I would have included like a certain villager economy requirement in the back, so you'd have to manage your economy and do damage to the enemy's economy. But in this case, it didn't really matter. So scouts are really, really strong. They do make a great point that it'll slow your feudal age down, your castle age down, that is. Which is true, but remember, for the purpose of getting gold, we actually don't really care. It's not a long-term game. It's all about getting that gold medal, boys. And last but not least, the one that we just completed, defending against the rush. Again, it's all just about using what little stone you have to stonewall up the southern area, and then you palisade the other 2 to direct the AI over to your tower, and you can pretty safely boom behind that. I think they only really sent a few scouts and a few men-at-arms, so there wasn't really too much threat there, and we were given plenty of time. I think I succeeded that one with like a whole minute left or so. So all in all, in terms of difficulty, I'd say rushing the enemy was the easiest one, followed by defending a rush, the second easiest, followed by Fast Castle Age, which was the third easiest, and then early economy was actually pretty difficult. I didn't get it until like my 4th try or so. And it was made even more difficult by the fact that the game decided not to register it, and then the time that I did get it properly by the 9th try, I did get it, but I lost the recording, so I had to do it 3 times. And then far and away the most difficult one was definitely booming, where I had to even perform like some mathematical calculations to determine the optimal strategy for creating the villagers, as many villagers as possible before the time limit went up. Cool. So with that, I think next campaign will start. I haven't picked one yet, but I'll start with the easier ones and work my way to the more difficult ones as we go along. This is Clever Fool. Thanks for watching. Signing out.